you would have to farm a Blink on Tide before you were any use at all on that team. So I don't know if Tide is really the pick. Usually you see last picks be like some kind of like Centaur or Tide Hunter, you know, anything that can break up the fight or give you a big boost of momentum to make sure that you can reposition or not lose too many heroes, because that's the biggest fear.
5 seconds
the Visage
remaining.
is that you push a few times and mess up, and then your team is just incapable of winning. So it's going to be Lina, which means off-lane Puck, and then we're going to have Lina mid, most likely.
And I like this pick as well because it's someone that's going to be able to, essentially in the earlier stages at least, clear out the illusions of PL if he does try and fight into it.
Yeah.
And also someone that once you've got the lockdown in the forms of the Waning Rift and Trail with the Gust, you're going to be able to look to catch out the PL with the telekinesis. It's going to be a long time until he's able to kind of withstand the burst damage of Lina. You know, get a Laguna Blade on that PL in the first, 10
seconds remaining
with your combo, and you should be able to burst him down.
I do really enjoy the last pick, Lina. It's great against Leshrac mid too. The lightning spam is very difficult for a lot of heroes to deal with, but Lina can actually stand so far away that it shouldn't be too hard to stop the lightning storm from actually hitting you. And Dragon Slave is fantastic in lane. You have 670 range, and like you already mentioned, her burst damage is fairly substantial. So they have the ability of just killing the PL immediately, which is a great solution when you don't have a lot of AoE. It's just single target focus him down if you catch him out. Now it does require a bit higher execution, but I think Void Boy's lineup is very scary.
See what the side of Wheel Wreck will pick up now for this final selection for the side. Obviously, Void Boy spanning out the Shadow Demon. Worried about a support. It's actually going to be the Zeus pickup. So it looks like in terms of lanes, I'd imagine this...
It could be Coddle Zeus offlane.
It could be.
It could also be Sand King offlane.
And then what? Coddle Lesh support with Zeus mid, Sand King offlane. And,
yeah, I think it's Zeus mid. Yeah, it definitely is Zeus mid because Relic's playing it. I'm fairly certain he's the mid player. So it's going to be Zeus mid. And then
Mike offlane.
Coddle PL, and then Leshrac and Sand King could be together, or they could just decide to stack for the Sand King and then go back later and try to kill it for dagger.
Yeah, I mean, if this safe lane is going to be Coddle, PL, Leshrac, you'd probably want to think twice before running aggressive against that, because the old Coddle PL combo is the reason why we do see PL or Coddle respectively banned out when one of these heroes comes through in the draft, because it can be pretty damn scary in the early
10 seconds remaining.
Not only just Phantom Lancer, but Zeus as well.
Yeah.
Like, the spam from heroes alone is
5
completely
seconds
ridiculous.
remaining.
So I think Wheel Wreck is not taking direct engagements at all until Void Boy commit to a push, and you just have like Illuminate, Leshrac spam with Chakra. Like it will actually be very difficult to sustain against that. Like none of these heroes on the side of Void Boys actually decide to build anything resembling a mech. Maybe the Visage, but he's usually the medallion buyer, right? So I actually think the second phase bans of the Viper and the Dazzle were really smart from Wheel Wreck, because it takes away the potential for Void Boys getting that never-ending push. So between the fact that they don't have any heals and there's a lot of spam on Wheel, I think they could potentially turtle this out, be able to carry or be carried by the PL.
Mike, he has problem. It would be Mike, wouldn't it?
It would.
Classic Mike, that classic Alex Mike. He's got problems. Hopefully these are problems that can be sorted. And 747 says he's also got some problems. Mini DCing, well, that's not ideal, so hopefully this is something that we can solve.
Are we playing on East or West? Do we even know?
I
think you were in the lobby before, but I didn't actually...
We did not look.
Yeah, I didn't look, because I'm not actually in the lobby this game. I started a little bit prematurely, but that's okay.
Oh, are you not?
No, I'm not in the lobby. Like, I'm actually just looking at his screen.
Oh, I like
it. Because I can't... I'm not... But I'm...
So looks like we are good to go back on. So thanks for bearing with us there. It was just a quick little pause. Looks like we're going to try and make sure that Mike's not got more connection issues as we get this. Indeed, it's kind of exciting, you know. First game of the TR5. Oh no,
not quite yet.
No, we're not getting too excited. He's got to restart his mode. Okay, come on, Mike.
It wouldn't be Dota if there wasn't a pause at the start.
It would not. It wouldn't.
You know how this works.
It would not. Come on, you know, first game of the TR5 qualifiers we were casting. If it went smoothly, something would be wrong. You know, what?
I think every single time we were on the couch stream and we turned on a game, it was paused. Like every single one. Which is weird because for some reason we were 90 minutes early in terms of the games. So Valve were pushing up the matches in each respective region because they were just ending so quickly.
I think, just from what I could gather, at least the other day, there was quite a few stops, which I guess can be expected in some of these groups, you know?
Yeah.
Arguably, I believe in the America, people are a little bit more in the know of me, in the know than me about the American teams. So there's about 5 teams that they say have a very fair chance of getting in, and then you've got a few that are arguably at a kind of a lower level, and see that causes for a little bit, well, not unfair matchups, but fairly one-sided matchup. And I believe so far, looking as well at the the standings at least, interestingly enough. Who have we got at the top at the moment? So it's NAR and Void Boys who managed to take a series each themselves, and Wheel Wreck and Not Today have both drawn.
I guess so.
Leviathan not doing too great.
Yeah, they are.
Looks of it.
But I mean, that's kind of what you were saying, is the NA scene has a very limited player pool, and the players are very subject to shuffling around a lot. So
they are.
Whoever just happens to be on the team together is usually the team that wins. Right?
Yes, it's
so that's kind of why everyone was saying, like, the European qualifiers, the Chinese qualifiers, even the C qualifiers are all very volatile. So yeah, it's not great for a lot of these teams. Like, you get there, you get your time in the limelight, and you just play against like players who have a lot more competitive experience than you, because there just really aren't that many North American players in comparison to everywhere else.
There isn't. Which is surprising, and you know, maybe this is the year of North America. Maybe this is the year of the American scene. You know, we'll see a strong team obviously make it through the qualifying stages, and maybe the second one. Maybe they'll even get that wild card slot as well. You know, once they go to Seattle.
Could be.
You know, this could be the rise of heroes like Ix Mike. Maybe.
What do you mean rise? Ix Mike has always been at the top.
He has always.
He's been at the top. Before
He's always been at the top of our hearts. But let's see how he does this year.
We're just having a modem restart.
We are. Don't worry, you're not missing anything. If you like, can you get these idiots off the screen, we want to watch Dota. I'm sorry, there is no Dota at the moment. So do bear with us as we're ready to get ourselves through. And of course, thanks for joining us. We're on the Skadi stream at the moment, I believe.
Is that what it's called?
This is, yes. So there's the Sanj, the Yasha, and the Skadi, and the Mango.
Okay.
And I think Skadi's
so wait, there's 4 streams then?
There's 4 streams, yeah.
I thought there was only 3. Okay. Didn't know.
So it looks like we're just getting stuff sorted. Still just waiting for the modem to be restarted for Mike.
Ah, he's reconnected.
He's reconnected. Okay. He's back online. We should be good to go very, very shortly. And there's the old RDY being called by the man himself. And it looks like we're ready to give this one another shot. Hopefully Ix Mike will not have this mini DCing problem that he has had previously. Well, we've got a good solid 10 seconds now, so I think we're good. And here we go. This little stats coming up there. And, big shout out to Lurker Derp.
Stat guy.
Good old Dev Stats for stepping in, and obviously big shout out to all the stats guys, because I believe so far most of the games think qualifiers, maybe even all, have had stats people doing them. So shout out to the guys,
because I actually think there's less stats guys than casters here, right?
Yeah,
which means that they actually do more work than we do.
And of course, shout out to the observers as well. Obviously, just in case, I do warn you guys, we do not have an observer for this stream. It is only on the main
shout out
stream.
to yourself, basically.
Shout out to myself if the camera worked, unless I missed First Blood, and then it was Weapus.
Well, you might not miss First Blood.
No, because Fly, he's looking for something on Relic. He's got the telekinesis. They're going to look for the Light Strike Array, and it will catch him here with the first from the Illusory Orb and the right clicks. That's going to be a very tasty First Blood there from the side of Void Boys. And Omega is able to get that one here on the puck, and indeed with that 7 Tango build, looks like he is indeed going to be on the solo offlane for the side of Void Boys.
Yeah, it's a very scary hero to go up against with Drow Aura, especially. Like, he hits for, what, 63 damage? At level 1, not too shabby.
Not bad at all.
Yeah, so the lane's looking pretty much how we expected from both teams. I think Void Boys are definitely going to have the lane advantage, but I think Wheel Wreck are going to be able to spam very heavily, and that's kind of what their team is built around. There are some team compositions that just D-push non-stop and make it very difficult for these kind of momentum-based laning phase teams to be able to actually push into their towers. So I do think that there is a way to play around this, but we will see. As right now, it looks like we're going to see a dual off lane coming out.
That's interesting, and maybe another kill potentially with the telekinesis and all, but he misses the stun here. Derp. He could be in a lot of trouble, and he is. That's going to be your second kill here for the puck, just under a minute into the game, and Void Boys, I don't think they could be happier with that kind of stun.
I think Void Boys actually called out the jungle stacking from the Coddle, and also the fact that there was an offlane Sand King. So that means that there could potentially only be 2 heroes in the top lane at any given time. And if the Coddle does come to lane, then that means that he's not stacking for the Sand King, and he's also not jungling. So Wheel Wreck are going to have to be very careful about this dual offlane to Void Boys, because if you get caught out in a bad position, the Coddle most likely will not be there to help, because he has to make sure that Ix Mike is able to get to his dagger, or he just gets his own farm, which is equally important. So very nice call coming out from Void Boys.
Indeed, we're looking at the early game CS so far. In the mid lane, you've got this Lina versus the Zeus. And I guess it's one of those lanes that the Lina maybe, you know, should be able to bring the Zeus low with some successful harassment. And bottom lane, apologies. Yeah, I didn't miss First Blood, but I did miss the 3rd kill in, so sorry for that one, ladies and gentlemen. But that was a kill there for young Ix Mike on the offlane.
I'm sorry I wasn't in the game, Owen. I would have guided you.
You would have.
It's very hard for me to see the minimap from all the way over here, so I'm kind of just, I'm going off your screen. But I do feel like the rotation is necessary from Dirt. Like, if he didn't come down here, it would have been very hard to do anything in that top lane anyway. And if they want to just play the Coddle super greedy, it makes more sense to come down here and cause problems for Void Boys than it does to stay up top and not be able to win the lane regardless.
And well, we see so far on this top lane, PL not having a grand old time. He's being pressured right back behind the tower, and with the rotation from Kotler's towards mid lane, and oh my, come on! Look,
wait, he just solo killed? No, Derp
no,
was
he's
well.
got the help of Derp, but they found another kill here. So we obviously saw the off lane starting off very strong for Void Boys. Well, Mike says I can do that as well, and they've really got themselves on the board here. 2-2 at the moment between the sides. Relic's got a haste ring, was anticipating to see if he could get in close and personal with 747, but he's going to keep himself safe and back here for the time being. Slice and harass down Fly. Well, hello there with the help of the Satire. Fly getting very low.
Does he have mana for another lance?
He does indeed. He's going to try and chase this down.
Oh, maybe not.
That's the kill. Very nice little play there from the PL with the help of the old Satire Tormentor. That's going to bring Wheel up to 3 kills on the bottom mid lane. Apologies. Well, the kills happening thick and fast this game. 4-2 so far. 3 minutes in. The rotation here towards the mid lane from Derp also allowed them to get a kill onto the mid lane leader.
So the momentum for Wheel Wreck is actually very nice because Void Boy's lineup is designed to be able to win the lanes, but they don't necessarily deal with roaming that well, as has been showcased by the fact that they've already lost 4 heroes and it's only 3.5 minutes into the game. So when the Leshrac and the Sand King are moving around the map and you're not ready for it, that is how Wheel Wreck actually just completely dismantle Void Boy's 5-man push. So when you pick Drow, you obviously want to win lanes. If you're not winning lanes because you're getting chain ganked, then your mid-game 5-man is going to be significantly weaker. So if they can keep up these kind of very nice rotations where they just continually get kills, it's going to be a bit scary for Void Boy to make sure that they can have enough momentum through this laning phase to get their push.
We've seen Derp trying to check out where he can find some more action. Fly is now going to rotate into his own jungle here. They're not going to bump into each other as of yet. They're just trying to secure this bottom rune for Relic and be able to get himself a double damage rune here down at the bottom of the river. That's still 4 minutes in terms of the farm, though. Slightly favouring the side here of Void Boys. Omega still having a slightly superior time against the PL in this lane. Obviously, thanks to that old Drow aura helping him with the CS. And top lane, Void Boys will also be able to secure this rune for themselves if they wish to go and grab it. And there's actually going to be a rotation from both the heroes from the offlane on the side of Wheel. IX, Mike,
nice
and
ward,
Derp.
though. They see it. Oh, I thought we were lagging. Never mind. It's a close call. But yeah, they have a very nice Radiant ward here, so they're going to be able to spot it out. No one should die to this.
I mean, can they even try to go on this themselves here? Both 747 and Fly. Eyeing this one up. Derp. And Mike going a little bit deeper, but at the end of the day, this is kind of wasted time for the side of Wheel if they don't find anything. And it's given a lot of space here to both the Drow and the Visage. Drow can able to retain her place there at the top of the board in terms of CS. 30 for 9 at the moment on the safe lane Drow for Void Boys.
I don't think the farm trade is actually too bad for Wheel Wreck given the circumstances. They're committing a lot of time to moving around the map, and are they really going to dive this?
Mike, he wants to go for it. It's going to force the TP back towards the mid lane from Visage. With the telekinesis onto Derp, Wheel could be in trouble. Yep, they're going to be able to burst one down. And now Mike, is he going to even be able to get himself out of here? This was an incredibly YOLO play from Mike. He's got the Burrow Strike. That looks like it will buy him enough space to get himself out. But, well, essentially bringing Derp down in the mid lane, and it was a very ballsy play there from Mike. Didn't pay off this time. Obviously paid off a couple of times earlier in the bottom lane, but not as much luck here in the mid lane against Void Boys.
I'm really confused why they even went for that dive, because they had a ward near the bottom lane, like a dire ward. So that means that they knew that no one was over there for a very long time, like no rotations, like the only one person showing in lane. Like they sat there for a good minute and then dove. Like that was very, very obvious, even if they didn't have a ward on Void Boys. So a little bit confusing.
Looks like IX Mike is backed off to the jungle and was looking to get this stacks up here as well. He's got that Soul Ring, and that's obviously going to allow Derp to suck up a bit of the solo XP from this bottom lane now. But he is going to have to be careful. Obviously with the Drow now hitting level 6, and in time with that, of course, hitting a lot harder in lane. So Lesh got to be very careful to not get caught out of position. And apologies. Well, rotation from Lina going into the jungle and being able to burst down with the line.
So they didn't stop Mike doing a stack though, did they?
No, he still managed to clear out a stack. Yeah, a stack here.
Yeah, he's level 5 now, has enough mana for a stun, but it looks like the rest of Void Boys are just going to back off. I don't know, that's really bizarre that they managed to kill the Coddle in the woods like that. I guess they have mostly aggressive warding, or well they did. I guess it's faded now, as they're playing almost completely blind. But for now, I think Wheel Wreck are still doing okay. IX Mike is going to be heavily relied upon in this mid-game. Like, his epicenters, once he gets Blink, that's going to be the turning point. If Wheel don't have enough spam to be able to push Void Boys back on their own, between like the Zeus and the Coddle and the Leshrac, then his teamfight contribution is going to be the make or break, I feel, for the team.
Indeed, indeed. Well, so far as well on this top lane, we haven't seen any kind of rotation from Puck. He's at level 7, has indeed got the Dream Coil. And his farm's still looking very, very healthy. On top of his treads, he's got 1,300 gold on his way to his Blink Dagger. So at the moment, at least, it looks like we're going to see some fairly respectable Blink Dagger timings coming out from both sides as well. IX Mike just coming through the jungle, maybe anticipating if he could go for something on this top lane with the help of Slicer. He's got the 4 points into the Spirit Lance. They've got a hefty amount of nuke damage, and Mike with a couple of points in the Burrow Strike. Maybe they can burst down one of these heroes. And Mike, he's now going to move in, see if he can catch someone out. Fly.
They spotted each other, yeah. Double ping. That's like one of those panic moments where neither one of you are ready to run into another hero, but it's nighttime and you see them and then you just back off immediately.
Mike really wants to do something here with this epicenter. And, oh, Omega.
There's Coil. And level 4 Waning Rift. That silence being maxed out means that he can actually go for a kill, even on the peel. The silence duration is hugely important for being able to solo kill in the early game if you're a Puck. I do like that build quite a bit. Because otherwise, like if you have max orb and you have 1 silence, it's only like 0.75 seconds at level 1, which means that the PL just doppelgangers away, right? But if you have it maxed out and you catch him with a silence for whatever reason, it's 3 full seconds of not being able to do anything, and you have Drought Aura on top of that. So your solo kill potential is much, much higher with this build, assuming you can get the silence off.
I mean, we're seeing lane as well. Looking at the CS and the PL, even though there's been the help of the Coddle for the most part of this lane, it's not looking great in terms of farm now for the side of Wheel. Only really Zeus that's keeping them right on top of the board, but the side of Void Boy is really breaking away in Drow. It's finding quite an insane amount of farm so far, 65, 66, yes, this is just 9 minutes in as well, so the farm and definitely the momentum going very nicely for the side of Void Boys. It's going to be up to the side of Wheel to see if they can counter it and look for the big plays as Mike still working towards that Blink Dagger, about two-thirds of the way there at the moment.
Yeah, Void Boys have stabilized their lanes. They're not getting ganked out anymore. The jungle ward coming out was actually very nice, so that way they weren't going to get continually rotated on in middle lane. Because the Lina matchup versus the Zeus, both of the heroes kind of just farm it out, right? It's not really that, it's not that volatile unless you start seeing some rotations, which fly.
Indeed, he used to smoke his yet close in person with the telekinesis into Light Strike. They throw down the Laguna Blade as well to make sure there's nowhere for the Zeus to run. And that's a tasty pick off there for the old Lina in the mid lane.
Yeah, she's getting pretty close to her heals as well. It's only a couple hundred away from it. It's only 10 minutes in. Gonna get some free damage here, I guess, in the tier 1. The Drow rotated in. And the question is, can Wheel Wreck actually do anything about this? Because I think the Coddle is still too low level. Like, he's only level 4. The Leshrac is even higher level at this point. I'm not entirely sure the jungling speed of Coddle, like what level you're supposed to be at what point, but IX Mike has kind of just taken it from him. So maybe he's not getting the levels that he wants just because IX Mike is using the jungle for his blink. And oh my god, the Puck has a blink at 10 minutes? Okay, he has 60 CS.
This is insane farm.
This is actually super bad for Wheel, because now, instead of the Puck having a harder lane, like the rotation of the Leshrac actually did well, like it got kills, but it gave the Puck free farm, which means now he's gotten a much earlier dagger, which means against these squishy heroes like Lesh and Coddle, and even Zeus, you saw even just a Rubik gank killed him, right?
And this is fantastic play from the side of Void Boys. As soon as that blink comes online for the Puck, they smoke up both the Lina and both Fly, and Laguna Blade coming back off cooldown with perfect timing. Well, it looks like they don't want to go for the PL. They want to look for IX Mike. They know he's working towards his Blink Dagger, and he's fairly close as well. They pop down the center. They got the telekinesis into the Light Strike, but they rolled the Light Strike. Did it connect, but he managed to cast the Burrow Strike there, so it got him mid in animation. They do manage to kill him, of course, and that does take away a good 250 gold away from him. They do lose the Rubik in return, but to be honest, for the side of Void Boys, it's probably worth it there. You know, just slowing down the progression of the Sand King Blink Dagger.
And delaying the blink is more than worth. You only lost Rubik, that's not a big deal. So, Puck now level 9, Blink Dagger, Wand, Treads. He can actually go for solo kills on supports. Like, that's how farmed he is, and that's a huge issue for Wheel, because if you have a hero sitting behind a tower like Coddle or Lesh trying to spam out the wave, the Puck's reach already being able to blink and go that far in at this early stage, and also a hero that is pretty difficult to lock down unless your Sand King stuns him first, and the Sand King doesn't have blink. I think he's gonna have a great game. It's so hard for them. right now.
And the efficiency of the side of Void Boy is very smart as well. We'll see Mercy, please, now backing off to the jungle now. She's got that damage to deal with jungle camps, allowing Visage to find a little bit of CS from the lane and farm as well. Now got level 7 on this Visage, has the familiars out. Mike, he's opted to come down here, look for a quick and easy creep wave to just closing that final 200 or so gold towards his Blink Dagger. And the question is, do the side of Void Boys want to try and do something about this in there? It's going to be a TP coming in. They're going to all try and look for the familiar stuns. Oh no, this isn't great for Mike. If they kill him again, knocking a good 200 gold out of Ike's Mike's bank, and you know, once more delaying the progression of the Blink Dagger. So this isn't great for the Sand King.
The wording from Wheel Wreck is not too great. Like, they have rune wards, which aren't bad 100% of the time, but both of these wards don't really see any movement. That's the problem. Like, if you TP to a lane and you have all your tier 1s, it doesn't see anything at all. And if no one's hovering around middle lane, birds are going to spot him.
This is a solo kill, yeah. I mean, you talked about the burst damage of Void Boys Omega Puck at the moment, and yeah, if you recall, you're arguably the easiest to burst on the side of Wheel. And this is not what you want to be given away to the side like Void Boys. The side that's going to rely on the snowball and the momentum that they get in this earlier stage of the game. And 13 minutes in, 8-5 between these sides. Let's have a look at the individual heroes' net worths as well.
So farmed.
It's looking very healthy for the side of Void Boys.
Oh, that's impressive. 200 more last hits per game on average, and at 13 minutes in, he's already got half the CS that most draw players get in the entire game. So yeah, that's pretty insane.
Radiant's top tower is under
I don't know, this is like... I feel maybe staying top for the launch still would have been better, just on account of the Puck might have farmed left, just because, like, hindsight, of course, is 2020, but you don't want a Puck to be able to have this kind of impact at such an early stage. Like, he's almost level 11. This is an off-lane Puck with Drow Aura that got to 1v1 against your PL because you played it a little bit too greedy.
And there we go, that is the first tier 1 here for the side and the push of Void Boys. And it's just going to excel the lead that they have. Obviously, these three heroes at the top of the net worth board at the moment. And the fact that the lowest, the Puck, is still a good 700 or so up at the highest of Wheel, this Zeus, who's pretty much just sat mid at the moment looking to farm. And Relic opting to go for the Midas this game on the Zeus.
I don't think it's too bad. I think a lot of the times when people are debating getting Midas, it's not really about the farm for Zeus, I think, as much as it is the levels. Like, yeah, getting the extra gold helps, for sure. But just being able to max out your ulti, for example, like getting level 16, being able to spam a little bit more effectively, it's definitely a great item on Zeus. I'd like it quite a bit. So, as the game kind of continues on, I'm looking to see Void Boys pushing into the remaining tier 1s. And because the Sand King, is he close to Blink? Does he have
got it.
Okay, yeah, he just got it.
Oh, and top lane, they went for a bit of a play here onto Fly, but Alex Mice can get himself out, especially with the TPs coming in from Lina. And the side of Wheel, they do manage to claim themselves a tower, and Ix will be able to TP himself out there from the sidelines, but wasn't quite able to find any positive action. Did force a lot of TPs here from the side of Void Boys as they all headed to defend that top tower. And that's giving a little bit more space, of course, to the PL. And PL's farm at the moment with the Blade of Alacrity and 1200 gold. I mean, does he go for Yasha or straight up Defusal this game?
I don't know if Defusal is going to allow him to fight. That's the biggest issue. So maybe if they get a good epicenter, having a Defusal would be good because it means he can purge the Waning Rift during team fights if he decides to commit. So it's pretty much his choice. If he goes Yasha, it's a better farming item. If he goes for Defusal, it just means he wants to fight. So it's more around their game plan, I think, than anything else. And I don't know if they really want to take engagements. That's kind of what I'm feeling with that guy buying a Midas already. But yeah, I guess it will be Defusal. So just the safety of maybe not getting caught out by the Puck solo, like being able to defuse yourself and just run away.
Ooh, here we go. So 15.5 minutes in, there'll be a smoke up from the side of Void Boys. Now, will it be for the Roche? They've got a lot of damage, of course, with this Drow strat. They're just eyeing it up, just picking up the smoke pop, see if there's anyone there, and that very nice ult there from Zeus will scout them all out. Yeah, it's going to mean that we're going to see Goody here walk straight into Fly, and with the blink forward from Omega, another very easy kill for the side of Void Boys on that Keeper of the Light. And putting Puck now in a killing spree.
Oh, the Fly Steel Chakra. That's really good, actually. Being able to spam a little bit more. It's level 3 as well.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Question is, to the side of Wheel, look to contest this Roche. It's
there is an epicenter, but it's only level 1. Not sure how much it's going to do. The Rubik has a value point to no field, I think. Or is it 2 points? Like right now, I think
he's got 2 points in there.
2 points,
yeah.
Okay. So you get the 10% extra magic because it's level 1 and he probably wouldn't get a kill on its own. You'd need some outside damage, and the Zeus ulti was already used to scout. So Aegis now for Lina. He's 3/4 of the way to Aghanims pretty much, right?
Yeah, pretty much at the moment. This Lina's been having an absolute game. And I mean, so far as well, Voidboy 16 minutes in. We'll have a look at the XP and gold graph. They are starting to break away pretty substantially in terms of XP, 7,500 in gold. It's coming up to that point as well here for the team.
Oh my god, Dagon. Blink Dagger, Shred, 16 minutes off. I mean, it was 1v1, so I guess kind of expected that he would have this level of farm. Maybe Wheel Wreck just didn't account for their greed being punished this harshly. I say that, but Wheel Wreck's still maintaining a decent level of farm, at least on their core players. So the Sand King, the PL, and the Zeus are kind of contending with the farm of Void Boys. I think it might only take 1 or 2 nice defense plays on a tier 2 or a tier 3 tower, and they could just be right back in the game based on that. Question is, are Void Boys going to make that mistake? Are they going to lose that big fight?
Indeed, so far the side of Wheel haven't really been able to find it. So look at the items on the other call. How's good old Juan doing on this side? She's coming up to the first 1,000. They'll be able to put towards his Aghanims, and Dreamcoil straight down onto Wheel Wreck. He's going to try to TP out. They do have the Yules to cancel it, and they've got more than enough burst damage to deal with him. It's going to be a dominating kill streak now on your Lina, and again now putting her just over 500 gold away from that Aghanims. On top of the Yules, 18 minutes in. This is some pretty ridiculous farm for the side of Void Boys, and well, with these towers going down as well, that's going to push them all even closer to their next item. And even Fly here on the Rubik, 1,500 gold towards his Blink Dagger. Mercy on the top lane, already getting ready to push down this tier 1, and looks like he won't even need the help of his team with the damage this Drow's doing at this point in the game. More gold for the team. This is, I mean, Void Boys with the draft they drafted, I think it's kind of going to plan so far.
That's pretty standard draft usage. I think the matchup that they ended up getting in the offlane was way better than even they were expecting. So maybe they assume that they just try lane top, right, with the Coddle, the PL, and the Lesh, and they just try to get the PL farm, but that's not what happened, right? They kind of abandoned him in the lane, and that lets the puck have a gigantic impact. Like, just killing the Coddle before you push is a massive deal. Like, not having to deal with the Illuminate being spammed every single time you're pushing into the tower and the creep wave just getting melted, so then you have to back off the tower, which means less damage taken, longer time to kill the tower. Maybe you get rotated on because it took you too long, right? There's a lot of factors, so I do think that Void Boys got a very, very good offlane this time.
And we see PL at the moment just trying to farm up in the enemy jungle. I mean, Void Boys being as aggressive as they have been, this is probably the safest place for him to be.
He's got Solar Crest in 19 minutes.
It's pretty scary for the side of Wheel.
Yeah.
I mean, the lanes went great for Void Boys. Wheel, you know, they were holding on in the beginning, but they're starting to slip. And it's just a question of whether they can hold on long enough for that PL to get to the stage where he essentially is going to be able to clean up the side of Void Boys. But it's a long way from that happening. They're going to need to buy a lot of time and space for Slessel here.
The fact that the Lina has Aghanim so early kind of puts the PL in a bad spot because he needs pure health items. Like, unless you Manta or Doppelganger the Laguna Blade, you're pretty much a goner if you get stunned, right? Or silence, unless you can purge it fast enough to use your Doppelganger, which you can't guarantee. So the Rubik even having a blink makes the situation 10 times worse. If you have one counter initiation stun, the game plan of Wheel Wreck wasn't to try to fight them. They just wanted to be able to spam and then delay the game for the PL to actually win the game for them, because late game PL is a monster against this type of lineup. But I don't really know if he's going to have the time to get to that maximum capacity that he really needs.
I mean, we're still yet to see any kind of big plays come out from Mike here with the Blink Dagger. He's got a fair bit of gold now on top of it as well. Been looking for the farm. He's hit level 11 also, so they've got that extra bit of damage there with the extra pulses on the ultimate. The question is if they can find the window to use it. And I mean, as you were saying, the fact that Ruby's got a blink, obviously with the blink on the puck, and the fact they've got the Familiars, the Gust, the Yule Scepter, there's so many ways to catch out and isolate this PL. It's going to be very hard for Wheel to fight head on into this one, and they might be forced to here if Void Boys want to try and take the push to the high ground. Oh, we see Omega, he goes forward, will find the solo Dreamcoil onto IX Mike, and I mean, look at this. I've got to be honest, the puck play so far this game has been pretty impeccable from Omega. 4 kills, 3 assists. He's been making a lot of good things happen for the Raven.
He's kind of the hero that allowed them to snowball so hard. So like during the early laning phase, they were getting roamed on, and it was like 2 to 4 at one point, and it looked really nice for Wheel Wreck, and I didn't really go for Relic. He is very far away. Okay, that's 1 feed.
Lie? It was going very.
Everybody gets 1 feed, Owen.
Yes. I mean, if we have a look at the old KDA, what are we seeing? Everyone apart from the Drow and the puck feeding on the side of the Radiant, and everyone apart from just the PL, who has not dropped a kill on the side of Wheel.
Well, what I mean by feed is you die for no reason. Like, that's the classification, right?
Yes.
Like, that was the first time he actually just fed a kill. But the other deaths were either getting a trade or something else, so I don't consider that a feed.
Radiant's top tower
It was pretty funny, though.
Is Zeus going for the straight up BKB this game?
It's really good against their lineup. If the puck initiates, for example, and the Lina is also a good majority of their damage, I think the Zeus is one of the highest priority targets, maybe outside of the Sand King, right? Because they're the two who defend the high ground the best right now. Like the Zeus arc spam, it has very long range. Illuminate kind of puts you in a bad position unless you have your ulti on, because then you have to stand still to channel it, right? Otherwise, if you have ulti, then you can just, you know, cast it once and run back, and then you don't get jumped. So having the BKB means that if he's quick, he can stand in the team fight, since like he's not going to get right-clicked to death by the Drow, because the Drow is most likely to be hitting the tower, and the Zeus will be very far away, even out of range of him. So I think it is solid.
We're going to see a smoke up here from the side of Wheel. I believe there were some pings coming out and warning the Juan Visage to get himself back. And now, in fact, the pings coming from the Rubik here on the top lane. Do they know that they're coming in for this one? No, it doesn't look like they do. Smite going straight in now with Thundergod's Ref. They have burst down the puck. Blinking forward. Smite seeing he can find more. Maybe they can bring down Fly as well. This is going to be very nice. Couple of pickoffs for the side of Wheel. And always able to get the blink off. Do they still look to continue to chase it? Mike's got the blink in one.
Oh, it's going the wrong way.
Fly with the Dukes. He's well and truly out of there. But, you know, Wheel, they did take down the puck. And as we were saying, Puck are having a very good game so far. And hadn't died at all. So a very nice pick-off nonetheless for the side of Wheel.
Every pickoff matters a lot to them. If they can continually stop Void Boy from 5-manning, that is probably the best play. So if they're being gifted kills, especially on high-value targets like the Puck, that is #1 priority for them. Now, it's difficult because with the warding they have right now, they have 1 ward out on the map. But they do have a Zeus, so if they can pull the map control back a bit, just randomly spam some bolts out. Relic has a Soul Ring in the Arcanes, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem for him. If they de-ward successfully, Void Boys still have kind of a hard time going high ground. I think what happens is they either go for the next Roche, or they probably push into the tier 2 and then Roche. So having the Aegis on the Drow, you just have him hit the tower, and you try to go high ground based off that.
Oh, and
Rubik dead again.
Yeah, indeed. Fly getting caught out a little bit far out the lane again. Against the PL and the Ice Mike, and that's going to be 4 staff completed now on your Sand King. Slice on top of the Yasha, coming up to 1700 gold here as well. And we also did see the fact that Lina now has a Shadow Blade at her disposal. Also 24 minutes in, obviously 747 second on the net worth. Drow 13k at the moment, has 4,000 in the bank here for Mercy Please. I mean, on top of the SNY, what do you think we could expect to see him pick up this game?
I think he either goes BKB or maybe he goes Scotty. Now, BKB is fantastic against Wheel Wreck because it's like Zeus, Sand King, Lesh, Cuddle. And you can't even get diffused or lanced by the PL. It makes him pretty much invincible because of the fact that he has SNY. He has so much health. Like he's level almost 17 right now, 1700 health on Agi Treads. That's very, very good. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go BKB. If he wants to go Scotty for more stats, he probably still is going to be able to tank out everything that happens, especially considering the Solar Crest that the Visage has. And then, of course, you have your Shadow Blade on the Lina, which is fantastic when the enemy team doesn't have any towers left and they're trying to farm for the late game. So you can just use it to pressure them. They see it and they're like, oh, I can't farm solo because the Lina will just kill me.
Well, you see Wheel the side, looking for a smoke here into the Radiant jungle. You go Fly, he's the closest at the moment. He might actually walk into this one. Ice Mike, he's going to find him, and straight away with a very quick reactions here. And with the burst damage from Relic, bringing him like they do manage to kill him.
Did the Courier get it?
Oh, the Courier did get it indeed. So very nice little bit of play there from Void Boys. And they do get a kill in return. Susie now with a mega kill streak as he takes down IX Mike on the
That was insanely fast reaction. I would love to know who controlled the Courier on that one. Like, he immediately knew. It's probably Fly, actually, because if he was getting ganked and he was also using the Courier, it's most likely that he was the one who reacted. If that's the case, very nicely done. I guess it didn't matter, though, because the Sand King died anyway. Maybe if Relic had picked it up, he would have been able to walk out, but wasn't the case. Ooh, Lincoln's. Okay. Lincoln's against Zeus is a bit odd. I mean, you only have to really use one arc and breaks it, and it's a very low cooldown spell. So it's not very common that you see this on Puck when you're playing against that hero.
Moving forward, just seeing if he could scout out.
Did that give him vision?
It did, yeah. He's got the Dream Core down. Lina getting herself close and personal with the Shadow Blade. Can't quite find the pathing around these trees by the looks of it. A little bit of a...
Now, the trees actually won't let him through, yeah. That's really weird.
That is weird. It does look like the path is open, but...
He could have been clicking too far. I think the way pathing works is if something is obstructing you, even in fog, if you're clicking like too far over, it'll just run you backwards. It's really, really weird how it works. Or maybe those trees. Yeah, she's just put on a little bit of weight.
There we go. He clears them out now. He's like,
nope, wrong one. He has to hit that tree on the right, I think. Oh no, he got it.
Oh, well, they've got him as well.
Oh.
And Ike's blinking forward here. Will Falstaff himself back
still
out.
one, but it's not enough damage.
Doesn't want to stick around. And Void Boys, among all this kind of clowniness, they do bring this tier 2 incredibly low. They're just going to back up with the familiars and they'll look to push that down with the next wave, I'm sure. But keep it alive. Hey, 600 got away from an Aghanim Scepter here, Goody.
That's very good. The heal is insane if you manage to get it off in a team fight. And of course, having vision ain't bad either. Means if you don't have a smoke, going like high ground during the day or trying to gank during the day around that area is even that difficult. And Sleesel, he's got his Manta style. He's got the Fusel. He's getting his health up a little bit. Now keep in mind, Lina's ulti still does about 80% of his life. So it's not great. Well, maybe 60 to 70%. Maybe 80 is a bit of a stretch. But I think Void Boy is still feeling okay for the moment. But as time goes on, it will become increasingly important for Void Boys to end the game. Like, Drow lineups do not want to go past like 35-40 minutes.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It certainly feels like the momentum of Void Boys has slowed down.
Yeah.
And the side of Wheel are doing a good job dealing with the aggression. They have lost a majority of the outer towers, but I guess when you go up against a lineup like the side of Void Boys, you kind of expect that to happen, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. When the Drow misses lineups, like, they're so hard to play against. Oh, they might get the Lina here.
Oh, Electric Raid does catch Alex Mike. Slice was able to double gang her
Blade.
off. Didn't want to chase it indeed because they don't have detection on either of these heroes. Unfortunately, that would have been a very big kill. Bring down Lina. We've not really seen that much of the Drow. He's just been farming. He's level 18.
Yeah, Butterfly.
Butterfly, 2k gold. Mercy, please, is looking incredibly scary at the moment.
I guess he's not feeling too much pressure to just straight up end the game.
Oh, look at this.
They're going for Roche, right?
400 damage. I mean,
yeah.
This Roshan is going to melt.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't need a BKB or a Scotty if they just claim the next Roche. Since they saw the gank on top lane, they know that Wheel Wreck most likely won't be able to react in time. Their damage, like you said, is insane. So they just kill it straight up. Are they giving it to Lina? I guess they're waiting on somebody. Yeah, it has to be Lina. I think she bought bots and TP'd in.
There we go.
Yeah. Alright. So, Aegis on the Huddle, is it going to be enough? Pretty difficult high ground defense right now, even for a team like Wheel Wreck.
Yeah, I mean, it's just look at the damage that Lina is getting from the plus 80.
Yeah.
You know, with the items that she's already got, this is, I don't know, it's going to be hard for the side of Wheel, but, you know, if they pull off a good few team fights, they'll certainly get momentum, and as we've been talking about, PL so far, looking very, very strong. Slicer. 1200 gold in the bank, on top of the Manta Style and the Diffusal. And what's left coming out? Just a couple of Observer Wars. And Void Boys smoking into the Dire jungle, seeing if they can catch out that Phantom Lancer or Ike's Mike on the Sand King. If he was fine, well, they're just going to get the creep wave off. They're not going to find anyone here. They figure out on the map, and we're now popping the Thunder God's Wrath relic. Knows exactly where they are, and Void Boys won't be able to make any kind of action happen with this. They'll just be able to look to push in that top lane.
And both teams are kind of sticking together, though. That's not too bad for Wheel Wreck. Like, the team that's ahead should be able to control the map. That's where you gain your advantage. So if your team, for instance, has a hard time going high ground, you just farm so much on the map that you smother the other team in item progression. Like, you just get like 20, 25,000 golden experience lead and you end the game because they know they can never fight you. So the fact that both teams were kind of doing the same thing actually benefits Wheel Wreck because Void Boys should be able to control the map a little bit more effectively than maybe that they are right now. But the movement from Wheel Wreck is nice. Like, they don't care about fighting outside of the base. They're like, screw that. We only want to defend our towers. We're going to spend that time, run across the map, maybe look to try to pressure a bit. At the very least, get Sleesel some more farm. And then when they start knocking on our door, then we'll go back.
They're going to need to certainly think about coming back now as 747 trying to push onto the tier 3. There'll be TPs coming in. Kotl, the Leshrac And Zeus himself already here with the defense. And look at this side of Void Boys. They want to try and break every single level. We see the Familiars and Drow going to work on the middle lane. We see Puck going to the bottom. So they're really piling on the pressure here, Void Boys. And with that, we do see the TP back from PL as well. Now, can Wheel fight into this one? He's just going to throw the lance out to the creep wave. And Void Boys, they seem to be either happy with that or spooked by that. They're just going to back off here into the dire jungle. They're not feeling any kind of rush. The fact that this Drow is still looking incredibly scary. Coming to level 20 and 3.4k gold on Mercy, please. Just 31 minutes in. I mean, what does he go for? Do you think he goes back for the BKB if they want to try and high ground push?
It's the most efficient item if you're going to go for ending the game, I feel. Like, he already hits for 400 almost. Like, what? He hits insanely hard. So having BKB just ensures that not only buying it at this point, it's very inventory efficient because it's a 10-second BKB when he already has that many items. I think by the time it wears off, he's either killed a tower from like 100 to 0, or he's like the entire team of Wheel Wreck just have to buy back, or are forced into a really bad spot.
And will be good old Juan. He's doing very well on his way to the Aghanim Scepter. Got the point boost in. Nearly got the second item, and once they've got the Aghanim's birds up as well, there's going to be a substantial increase to the pushing power at the side of Void Boys, and maybe then we can see them break the tier 3s. Mid lane already very, very low. Top's had a bit of a tickle. Bottom, not so much. Both Omega and Lina coming in here. And, Omega did opt for the Necro Book and drops the Dream Coil straight away. Will get snapped by Goody with the follow-up.
That's not buyback. I don't know if they're going to be able to get much damage on the base. The Ka being dead is like the worst hero I feel to die. He's a steep pusher outside of the Zeus, maybe. This is only the 4th Lincoln's, wow.
Okay, and no Puck with a Lincoln's has lost the match, so let's see if that 100%.
Well, this game is kind of a luxury item for him.
Keeps up.
It's not really that good, I feel, against Zeus in general.
This time Lina was able to finish off that mid tower. We did see though the illusions coming out with the diffusal blade damage. Did bring Lina down to half health, so we're seeing the power of the PL. It's just a question of whether it's going to be enough in these fights. And now IX Mike with the smoke. We're still yet to see him use a single epicenter this game.
Yeah, it's very hard to get epicenter off against these particular heroes. I don't think he needs to go for a big one either. I think if they can get a pick, like 1 or 2 heroes, just make Void Boys back up, that's enough, right?
And he's just going to go with the Burrow Strike and the Sandstorm. Relic trying to get in position there. We'll find the slow here with the Spirit Lance. And, Telekinesis just talking about the illusion. Susie coming in with the Shadow Blade, incredibly low health. Does have the Laguna Blade and will use it straight up to bring down the Keeper of the Light. They're clearing out the illusions here to save Fly on the Rubik, and that's going to be a wicked sick kill streak for the Lina.
Did they commit Zeusel to do that?
They did.
Yeah. I think they
just
no,
before,
it might have been
before,
already,
wasn't it? Yeah, when they smoked.
Okay.
And they were going out the base, yeah.
So that's a bit unfortunate, like not getting the support kill. As right now, Void Boys are doing a much better job than they were earlier of forcing lane pressure. So if you look at the map, no one really on Wheel Wreck is outside of their base. They're all stuck inside. And after having seen the PL also far mid, you know that there's not many other places that he can easily make it to. So right now, Void Boys are now properly pressuring, which is good for them.
And Puck, well, he's got enough money here to step it up to the level 3 Necro Book.
I think he's saving buyback, though.
Do you reckon? At this point, yeah.
It's still okay to save buyback. Like, for whatever reason, if Wheel Wreck decide to win a fight, and you can do the troll play, where you orb, die, buyback, and go to your orb.
You can indeed look for the play. And maybe it'll be a game-changing one. Maybe we'll see something big coming out from Omega. Obviously, so far, his performance has been pretty on par.
He's like the hardest hero to kill, though.
Some great stuff coming
I don't even know if he needs to save for buyback.
There we go, onto the tier 3. Look at this damage. They will find a burrow. Ooh, no, they
the Lincoln's actually helped him.
He's out of there. Very nice indeed. And well, this Drow Ranger, level 22, did pick up that BKB, and he's got 3.8k gold on top of the BKB.
Yeah, he's gigantic.
This
he has,
is
what,
crazy.
almost double the standard CS for a Drow right now? According to the stats earlier, right? Because they said 204 was the average CS of a Drow, which means that he is almost doubling that. And it's only 35 minutes.
Crazy going with the Drown.
Oh, God.
Oh, 747.
Oh, what's he doing? Burrow as well.
Yeah, there's going to be the... Oh, they can fly the follow burst. Oh, no, they couldn't.
I think he mistimed it. He, like, burrowed at the same time the Manta was used or something.
I know.
Or maybe... No, he didn't use it.
Didn't use it there to got him out. BKB's been popped by Drow Ranger. Will to simply TP out, but the timing was a little bit off.
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
He almost killed the melee racks, though. Like, the Lina can just Shadow Blade up there, I think, and kill it right now.
Rubik's got it. Flies on the job. They will kill him. But indeed, you know, taking down the melee racks at the top lane. Look at bottom lane as well. The range racks are down. Omega looks for the kill onto the Zeus. Will find it. Orbs out to the tree line. There's going to be Ice Mike looking for a burrow strike. And
Wait, who forced that?
Who forced him? Lesh.
Oh my God! He actually saved his life. Why?
That was fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic for the other team.
That was a true derp play.
That was a feat, even though he didn't die. I think he should just go sacrifice himself after that.
Classic derp. And I mean, look, that's the
Wait,
entire.
does Mike have a forced F too? It could have been him.
Record alert for the most last hits of 35 minutes on this.
Wow.
Beating art. I mean, yeah, this Drow has got out of control and.
Well, this guy has had the epitome of space, right?
He's not even killed anyone.
Like his off laner,
he's just been farming.
Yeah, his off laner actually like won him the game with his mid.
Yeah.
And then Fly played a really good support as well. Had some good warding in the start that actually relieved a lot of lane pressure. And then Wheel Wreck did not do anything to the Drow in lane. Like they ganked the supports 2 times in a row, and then they ganked mid. So they didn't really kill the Drow at all until just now, 35 minutes into the game.
I mean, let's have a look at the graphs. It's going to be pretty big. Yeah, 20,000 at the moment in terms of XP. Gold-wise, it's shooting even higher, reaching the 25k mark. And on the side of Void Boys, they're going to go for Roche here. There's going to be the side of Wheel on the sidelines. Maybe they can look to contest it. They've got Epicenter in 18 seconds. The side of Void Boys, they don't hang around. And whoa, hello, top lane. Perk finding a kill onto Leshrac. Clears out the top. This is going to be mega creeps. The side of Wheel, they're fighting around the Roche pit, but they're about to be mega creeped. They've only got the Zeus back here, and that's their final set. Yeah.
GG.
Yeah. A little bit of a clowny one. 38 minutes in. The push is too strong. Drow, you've got to, yeah. I just kind of feel that Wheel weren't able to deal with the strat that the side of Void Boys laid down, and Void Boys played it very well.
There's a lot of things that went wrong for them this game. Like, first and foremost, the rotation from the Lesh seemed really good at first because, I mean, they weren't going to win that lane unless they brought everyone there. So they would have needed Coddle, they would have needed Lesh, and they would have also needed